Hello everyone, this is Bryant with AmusementSource.media and we are back on the zoo game. Today we are here at the Fort Worth Zoo, just outside of Fort Worth, downtown Fort Worth I should say. This zoo was built in the early 1900s, so this is quite an old zoo with lots of things to look at, and it's actually rated one of the best zoos in the country and the best zoo in Texas, so we're very excited. They have thousands of animal species. Now, if you've been following along, we did the San Antonio Zoo last, and they have free parking at the San Antonio Zoo. They do not have free parking here at the Fort Worth Zoo, but I will say the parking is closer. So it is only $5, and then tickets start at $20. They, of course, have memberships here too. I encourage you to go to their website to check that out. So without any further ado, let's head into the zoo. We have made our way into the zoo, and because we have a membership with the San Antonio Zoo, we paid half price because they're part of the AZA reciprocity program. So if you do have a membership at another zoo, keep that in mind. As you come over the bridge into the entrance, over this way is where you can rent strollers and wheelchairs. They do have a small food stand over there as well. And you do have some signage that'll guide you. They have like a safari splash area, which is like a splash pad, and then they show you kind of what is directly over here. You've got World of Primates, African Savanna, and Flamingo Bay. I see the flamingos over there. My camera is really fogging up. It's very humid outside, but you take this way to get up to the safari splash, and very fun little kind of play area. It looks like you definitely get wet up there. And right across from the flamingos is where you can find the gorillas in this huge habitat here. I do see them way off in the distance, hanging out, relaxing. So we'll have to make our way around that way and take a closer look. Gorillas are certainly enjoying a little bit of a nicer temperature this morning, hanging out outside. You can probably also see that there are some indoor sections where you can get kind of close to the gorillas as well. Right across from the gorilla habitat is where the Yellow Rose Express and Crocodile Cafe are. Crocodile Cafe is home to the Jungle Grill and ice cream shop and the Burger Shack, kind of your standard theme park zoo fare. And then the Yellow Rose Express is the train, and it actually just pulled into the station. This is a little bit of an upcharge, but definitely a fun little adventure when you're here at the Fort Worth Zoo. And outside of the Crocodile Cafe, you have all of these outdoor seating areas. They do have indoor seating in there as well. And we come up to another wayfinding, and you can see the Museum of Living Art, the Texas Wild, and the penguins. Now, if you go off this way to the left, you kind of run into a dead end. If you go this way at the zoo, it's more of like a circular pathway that'll lead you back up to the front. So I think what we're going to do first is actually go towards the dead end and show you some of the Texas Wild stuff. Now, also right across from the Crocodile Cafe is the brand new Predators exhibit, which when I came here last time, I didn't film my visit, but this was being constructed, and this is super nice. This is for the African lions, which one just so happens to be, oh, woke up from the nap. Where are we going? Hanging out on that huge tree branch. But yeah, very expansive area for the African lions over here. I think now you're seeing why it's called the Crocodile Cafe. They have a saltwater crocodile. It's very popular with the kids, so it's been a little difficult to show it, but that's a big boy. And our next stop after the saltwater crocodile is the Museum of Living Art, where the reptiles, amphibians, and more live. Oh man. On our way to the Museum of Living Art, we ran into the Aldabra giant tortoises. This guy He's looking over here. He's like, why are you pointing that thing at me, man? I want some lettuce. His friends are back here just chilling. They've got quite a few. I see, what, five or six in here? But this is the only one who's being adventurous right now.
Is he waving at him?
I hope you're a fan of ginormous snakes. Look at that, the Burmese python. Could probably eat me whole if he wanted to. But he's not going to, because I'm gonna say he's a friendly snake. This is the Chinese crocodile lizard. He's very crocodile-y looking. He also, I think, is being real lazy right now. He's like leaning up against the rock. It's like, I gotta keep my nose out. He does have some friends in here. Holy smokes. Down below that is the tentacled snake, or what I like to call a nope rope. Very fascinating. They kind of blend in with the sticks and all of that. That's dangerous. In this exhibit, they also have Mexican axolotls. I know a lot of people get really excited for these. Very active this morning. Oh, he waved. Hello, good sir or ma'am. Over here we have the West African Gaboon Viper. This guy really stuck out to me because his head is super wide. This guy blends in really well with his surroundings. Whew. Over here we have the splendid tree frog, which definitely looks like they're doing something splendid back there. We've got the Fiji banded iguana, who has somehow transformed himself into his own hammock. But he looks very comfortable. His friend is up here taking a nice nap. This guy is completely unbothered by all of the noise because he's got his snacks. Here we have Reisinger's tree monitor. It's pretty active today. Oh, where are we going? Where are we going? I bet he's looking for snacks. That's what I do. All right, this is a warning. We're about to look at a spider, okay? This is the Brazilian bird eater tarantula. I can only imagine he gets his name from eating birds. Look at this ginormous fish. There's also a stingray next to him. It's like a leopard stingray. Whoa. We have walked out of the Museum of Living Art right into the Lemur Island area. Oh my goodness. These guys are just hanging out. Right across from the lemurs, you have the red-breasted goose. It looks like he's like sleep swimming, perhaps. It's dangerous, man. Just across from the lemurs is a macaw. He's only wants to show us his butt right now. Out here in this little section, we've also got some toucans. These ones down here are talking, making a lot of noise. Whoa. Whoa, toucan battle. All right, so we actually have to go back into the Museum of Living Art. This is just kind of like a little circular offshoot from that. So once you come back in to the Museum of Living Art, you run into a spiny-tailed lizard. And they've also got an Egyptian tortoise in here who is also snacking down on some treats. In this exhibit, they have a freaking ginormous Komodo dragon hanging out. And at the exit of the Museum of Living Art, if you feed this frog, he'll croak a song. So we're gonna stick it in. I don't know if it's working. Might have to push it in further. Well, he didn't sing a song, but I'm sure that the money goes to a good cause, so we'll keep on moving along. And as we continue, we will run into Texas Wild, Great Barrier Reef, and penguins. On our way down to Texas Live, we've run into some saddle-billed storks. One of the more majestic creatures here. Right after where the storks are located, you run into a quick snack stand called Penguin Snacks. They've got really basic things like drinks, popcorn, candy, chips, that kind of stuff. Right before you get to Texas Wild, you run into the Outdoor Learning Theater, and there's a show about to start, so I think we're gonna check it out and see what it is.
Wainston's hawk. Now I said that you can occasionally see these guys here in the DFW area. That's because they have the longest migration pattern of any native bird of prey. These guys are actually native to New Zealand and the other side of the world, and they have a great conservation story. That's because in the early 1900s, they were almost extinct. Typically when we think of farm animals, we don't think of them with the possibility of going extinct. These guys are the largest species of toucan in the world. Now they get their size from that really, really long beak, and that beak is going to help them find their food. They are actually considered omnivores, meaning that they eat both plants and animals. And that beak is going to help them as they are searching for fruits hanging on the very edges of trees that other animals can't reach.
Very fun little presentation, and the person doing it talked about how there are different animals shown at each showing. And as you come into Texas Live, you run into the other station for the Yellow Rose Express train. And if you swing around to the right, you run into the Country Carousel, which is another little upcharge attraction they have here at the zoo. So also in this area, they have the Children's Corral. So they do have like some mining, like an old school theme park attraction over here, and they also have a petting zoo down this way. Lots of opportunities to pet some animals over here. Looks like they've got some like goats and such over here. Heck yeah. They also have a play barn. There's like a baby cow over here. We got some goats standing up on the little platform over there. We've got chickens and rabbits. So as you've probably gathered, lots of very children-oriented things over here. They do also have the Texas Hall of Wonders. They do have like a little candy shop and gift shop over here to the left. We're here in this gift shop over here, and it's a lot of what I think you would expect at a zoo. Lots of toys, but then they do have things like branded mugs and cups and such. Spans all the way down that way. There's also a gift shop at the front that we haven't shown you. Outside of that gift shop we just visited, you have the Blue Bonnet Cafe, which is home to Dickies and Pizza Hut, so you can get some barbecue, some pizza. They also have the Ranch Grill, which serves burgers, sandwiches, and salads. Lots of stuff. It's a very large indoor eating place. We have come up on our first animal here in Texas Live. Oh my goodness. Look at him go. He's got a friend over here. Whoa. The owl was not happy with him. There's an owl over there. What the heck, owl? Why don't you like your friends? That wasn't very nice. Here's the old boss man owl bossing all of the prairie dogs around. He's keeping an eye on them. We also have a Roadrunner over here in this little exhibit. He is playing with that twig there. Roadrunners are they're cool because they don't look anything like the cartoons that we've grown up watching. We have come across the American alligator hanging out back there. Nothing to see here, right? Yeah, I'm sure he's friendly. We also have some otters. He's swimming. Look at him go. Oh, he's coming up for some air. I don't know if he has any friends in here with him. I'm sure he does. So we've come into this little like touch tank area. They do have some fish and other creatures in here. This is an upside down jelly, which is found along the coast of Texas and the Gulf of Mexico. Dang, those are crazy looking. You can actually come touch some horseshoe crabs and things like that. Look at them down there. All kinds of little kind of Gulf of Mexico funness in here to learn about. Well, they've got a sea urchin. Oh my goodness. And as you leave that touch tank area, you run into some Gulf Coast birds. Gulf of Mexico birds, I should say. Dang, look at him. So majestic. This one's hanging out in the tree. Oh, there's a few hanging out in the tree over there. I would have never guessed that they lounge in trees. Oh, is there babies up there? Huh? Yeah, I think there's babies up there. Yeah, definitely a baby. Wow, how cool. Got some other pelicans here. He is humongous. Got this one over here. So during the show that we were watching, they talked about how the birds that they have here can't be released in the wild because they can't tend for themselves. So all of these birds here are living here as part of conservation. Next up for us here at Texas Live is brush country. Also got some bald eagles over here. So majestic. I'm assuming that is Cody, white-nosed Cody. They are native to the Texas Range in South Texas. And he is scavenging away. He's also got a friend in here. They seem very curious. He looks cute, but he could probably rip your face off, if I had to guess. And of course, something we see all the time up here in DFW, bobcat. Hanging out in his little basket. We've also got a jaguar over here. Must have had a long morning. It's time for his afternoon nap. They do have a very small aviary in here. Got some birds over there. There we go. In here we have a broad-billed hummingbird. It's that tiny little guy up there. So small. Also in here there is a quail who is very active down here. Also over here they have mountains and desert, which is in this building back here, but it does look like they are remodeling this building to improve it. Always good to see. This isn't the only remodeling project they have going on in the zoo. We'll point out the other ones as well. We have walked out of Texas Live, and you gotta come the way you went into. But if you go up on the alternate path, you start running into new animal exhibits. Here are the African penguins. Look at them just marching around. Next up we run into the Australian outback, which is also the Great Barrier Reef. And of course, it's Australia, so you gotta start out with the kangaroos. What's he doing? I think he's looking for something. He's got a friend over here too. You very quickly run into the Great Barrier Reef, which has all kinds of fun, vibrant fish in it. There they go. As you exit the Barrier Reef aquarium area, you run into these birds that are called gallas. Very pretty, vibrant color. Continuing on this pathway up here, there are a lot more birds. You've got a macaw over there. There's turkeys. You swing over here and they've got Victoria crowned pigeons and violet turacos. There's a guy, he's going crazy. Here's one of those Victoria crowned pigeons. It's beautiful. It's a very pretty bird. It's hard to see with the caging, but as we head up towards Raptor Canyon, we do have some other construction to point out. This is the next big thing they're working on, which is the forests and jungles of the world. So they redid the big cat exhibit areas, and this is kind of the big project that's next. Up here in Raptor Canyon, they have a palm nut vulture. He's up there. Try to get him a little bit. Wow, it's humongous. Also have some other eagles up here. This is an African crowned eagle. Have some vultures up here from the Middle East. My goodness. Up here is a king vulture. He's got a fun little wavy thing on his beak. I want to know in the comments below. What is the purpose of that? Why does this animal have that on his beak? Trying to get him to look back this way and get a better look at it. It's very interesting. I assume it helps with hunting or something like that. There's an Andean condor up there. Holy smokes, look at that wingspan. We have made our way into this aviary with African birds from Africa. And this is the lesser flamingo. But on personally, I don't care what they say about you. I don't think you're lesser. I think you are perfectly great the way you are. As we leave the Africa aviary, we run into predators, Asia and Africa. Now this is the big cats that we saw near the entrance. So we're kind of wrapped back around to the front, but in a different orientation. So this is the huge big exhibit that opened last year. We have a black leopard and a regular leopard over here. I think they're looking at a squirrel. So this is like an upper pathway, whereas we were on the lower pathway near the main entrance. This is so expansive and really nice over here. This is a really well thought out area to view animals. And up in the corner over there, we've got some African painted dogs. And just like any other dog, regardless of how wild they are, afternoons are for naps. This is the big cat exhibit we saw earlier, and that's down by the main entrance. Those lions are down there playing. And looks like Daddy Lion is out too there on the left. Holy smokes. What a mouth on that guy. All of these big cats are doing the exact same thing as the other. Fighting for dear life to stay awake, but they can't. They're too tired. Oh, he got startled. Uh-oh. Nope. Not interesting enough. Let's go back to sleep. Across from those big cats are some wattled cranes. and maybe some other creatures, some other bird creatures as well. Also here in this area is a little shaded eating section for Jumbo Snacks, which serves hot dogs, chips, popcorn, cotton candy, drinks, Dippin' Dots, your very basic snack offerings. Next up, we've seen the Hunters of Africa. Now it's time for the Hunters of Asia. And over here we've got a striped hyena, but just like his dog friends down the way, it's nap time. We have the Sumatran tiger exhibit over here, and he is actually, I don't know if I can get my camera to cooperate, but he is hanging out in his little cave over there. After the Sumatran tiger, look up there. We have Edward's pheasant and the lesser bird of paradise. You can see Edward's pheasant right there. And the lesser bird of paradise up top, giving himself a nice scratch. And you know, just like those flamingos, I don't care what they call you. You are not lesser than anything. You are a strong, perfectly abled bird. Holy smokes, that's a big bird. What are you doing over here? I don't see a placard for him. He's just kind of hanging out over here in the corner, in this little offshoot area. What's up, dude? I found his partner in crime over here on the other side. This is a red-billed crane. Very pretty bird. Right next to those red-billed cranes is the greater one-horned rhinoceros, who is currently showing us his butt. That's a lot of rhino butt. A ton of rhino butt. So this white bird down here is called a smew. I don't know how they came up with that. That's a pretty wild name. And then you have the wrinkled hornbill, which is a quite majestic, colorful looking bird. Let me see if I can... These fences wreak havoc all the time. I don't think I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna zoom out a little bit. There we go. And right up there, hanging out, probably taking a nap, is a clouded leopard. There is another greater one-horned rhino over here. It's a common theme though. It's just a lot of rhino butt. A lot of big rhino butt. Such a fascinating animal though, like just the skin and how it looks like armor and just how ginormous they are. Up next is the Asian elephant, and we do have an elephant buddy back down here. Looks like he is chowing down on some lunch. Getting a nice little beverage over there. Also got another set of elephants over here. They've got a baby elephant, and I assume that's his mother right there with him. And here next to the elephant exhibits, it looks like they have some kind of presentation. We're gonna check this out real quick.
So Gabby here loves to call Belle Big Mama. Anyway, so Belle's gonna show off some of her fun behaviors here. So Belle just lifted her foot up for us. So all of these behaviors are gonna be voluntary, and it's gonna be ways that we're gonna help in their health care. So whenever they're able to lift their foot up for us, it's also going to help stretch them out and get them moving. So the bottom of their foot is going to be referred to as a pad, and they have lots of grooves all over the bottom of that pad. And whenever they have those grooves, things can get stuck inside of them. Why do we rinse them out to just double check and make sure everything looks good? Those grooves are on the bottom of those feet to help with traction. It's a very big animal, and they want to get a good grip on the ground. So it's just like the bottoms of our shoes that they really like to help with training. They usually get that whenever they're little. We'll give it to some of the older ones just for a higher reinforcement also. One of the really cool things that you can see here in the front of Travis and the front of Rasha, so their coloration is really different. So Travis all over his body besides the sand that's covering him. So as they start to get older, some of them will start to lose some of their skin coloration. It is completely normal for Asian elephants to do that.
Very cool to see the elephants that close up while they get checked on their feet and for their health and such. But next up, we are heading into the African savanna. So this is definitely one of the more themed areas of the zoo. Honestly, I would say all of it's really well themed, but I feel like this is more in your face. They do have a Safari Traders gift shop. They've got all of your kind of typical zoo things, shirts, things like that, toys and such. As we swing across this way, you run into the Savannah Grill, which has like hamburger baskets, chicken tenders, drinks, ices, other small snacks as well. Next up, we have giraffes, and you can see this guy chomping. It is snack time for sure. Giraffes are such cool animals. Also over here are the ever so curious meerkats. It's the crew right there. So there's basically like a little offshoot from the giraffes where you have meerkats, hippos, more rhino butt. He was looking this way. I pulled my camera out and he said, nope, here's my butt. There we go. Showing us his face a little bit. And then you wind back up on the back side of the giraffe area where you can see some pelicans. They also have an ostrich over there. I don't know what he's doing. He's mean mugging though. And they do have some other animals like gazelles and such down this way. We have looped back around to kind of the same centralized area where the gorillas are. We're on the back side of it. There's a lot of primates at this zoo. You can see a few hanging out here. Some baboons. They also have a baby baboon. Look at that. And to the right of the baboons are the orangutans. We've got one hanging out here in the shade. Also in this little primate area is an indoor section, which is the World of Primates and Tropical Aviary, which is this whole center building here. Here in this center section, they have all kinds of bird creatures. They are doing some cleaning, so I think some of the birds may be avoiding that and put away. There is a bird way up there in the ceiling. But yeah, it does feel pretty nice in here as well. You're walking real slow and mysteriously. Over here we have the black and white colobus, which are some primates. They are enjoying the air-conditioned area. I am as well. In here, contemplating life while eating a nice snack. And we have rounded back. We are inside, but we're on the back side of the gorilla exhibit that we showed you earlier. They're a little bit more active now. snacking on some stuff. And as we walk out of the World of Primates, we run back into the entrance exit, and then this is where you get like your strollers and wheelchairs. So right back around to the front. All right, everyone, that does it for this look at the Fort Worth Zoo here in Fort Worth, Texas. If you're looking at theme park travel, you're probably about 20 to 25 minutes from Six Flags Over Texas, kind of depending on what the traffic is looking like. This is just right outside of downtown Fort Worth, but we had a great time. And one thing you've got to take into account is that it is a large zoo and it takes a long time to get through. We've been here for over 4 hours, and I feel like I showed you maybe half of everything that's in all of the little exhibits. So that's something you can look forward to if you come out here. If y'all have any questions about the Fort Worth Zoo, make sure to let us know in the comments below. I also encourage you to check out our Patreon, which is also linked below. That'll give you early access to select videos, you get merchandise discounts from our store, and your name gets featured in the end credits. We thank y'all for watching, take care, and we'll see you on our next adventure.